All right, everyone. Hello. My name is Angelina, and I'm your spiritual alignment coach here at the In Alignment Protocol. And today we're going to talk about quantum leaps, timeline shifts, and how do you know when it's time for you to leap? I'm also going to pull some cards for you guys. So, over the last few days, we've been talking a lot about your guides, your spirit team, getting you ready for this manifestation, this new life that you've been really working toward. And we've talked a lot about just all the things, all the restructuring that comes with starting your new life, quantum leaping into the manifestation life you've been working towards. And today we're going to talk about signs and synchronicities and how do you know that your new timeline has started, and how do you know that you've sort of passed the test that means you get to step into the life that you've been working toward. So I'm going to be pulling some cards here just to kind of, be a part of the conversation. Today I'm using the Work Your Light deck by Rebecca Campbell. So first of all, before we get into this, let me talk to you guys about what is quantum leaping, okay? Because I feel like that's really important. So what is quantum leaping and what is timeline shifting? So quantum leaping is this idea that you can step from one reality into a new reality by simply manifesting or envisioning it and aligning your vibrational frequency with the vibrational frequency of the life you're manifesting for. Okay. There's tons of YouTube videos that explain that way more in depth, but to keep it simple, we're talking about vibration and resonance. Okay. So vibration being if you are operating at a high vibrational frequency, as in happy, positive, excited about life, in awe and wonder, then you're going to see more happiness, joy, awe, and wonder. If you are in resonance is like, because you're in awe and wonder, your reality becomes that. So not just you see more of it, but it becomes that thing. So when we're talking about quantum leaping, we're saying that because I am in vibrational resonance with this new reality, it comes to me and becomes real. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. It's really not complicated. It's very simple, and I think some people overcomplicate it, but anyway, that's what it is. That's what quantum leaping is. Now, there's lots of things that help us quantum leap. And I just made a YouTube video earlier today about moldavite. Moldavite is a crystal that assists you and can assist you in quantum leaping, and by changing your resonance, by basically getting rid of everything that is not in vibrational resonance with you. It then makes space for more vibrational resonance to come in. You can also use hypnosis, which is one of my favorite ways to quantum leap. And that is basically like a very deep sort of meditative state where you can actually physically experience the reality that you're wanting to create before it happens. And some people would see this as sort of like a predictive experience, like if you are a intuitive or a medium or a tarot reader, right? Somebody who works in predictive mechanisms, you're also seeing sort of the quantum leap, okay? Because that reality can change at any time. And one of the things I tell people whenever I'm doing any sort of reading is this predictive messaging is based on your current resonance, okay? So if tomorrow I quantum leap, then whatever predictive message I received before is not going to matter, okay? So because of the strangeness of what is happening energetically for so many people, there's going to be a sort of splitting off that occurs. So on one side, there's going to be people who do not quantum leap. They're going to stay in their physical reality if they don't go into like a whole different sort of left field. And what I mean by that is there are certain people who cannot vibrationally resonate with a higher frequency, but they will vibrationally resonate with a lower frequency, meaning their life is going to get worse. Okay. That's not people here in this chat or on these videos in this channel, because you guys are all working on yourselves. That's why you're here watching these videos, is because you want to become better and work on things and heal through things and move towards a new reality that's more in alignment with your soul's purpose. Okay. But there are people who aren't on that path. Okay. And we talked about that in the video yesterday, right? Like there's some people who are committed to misunderstanding you. There's people who are committed to being the victims. There's all of those things. And so those people are going to stay there, right? Now, there's other people who are going to make this quantum shift, and they're going to shift into this brand new reality where things are going to be completely different than you can't even at this point manifest for this new reality that's coming to you, because it's beyond your wildest dreams. Okay. And that's what this energy for this last week has really been preparing us for. And I made a reel sort of suggesting this, which is this week was a test, right? Are you willing to stand in your own integrity and do the right thing? Even if it's painful, even if it creates hardship for you, even if it feels selfish, even if people judge you for it, are you going to make the decisions that's in alignment with this new reality that you want to step into? And if the answer is yes, right, then you're going to go into this sort of portal, if you will, into this new reality. So quantum leaping being the old reality doesn't exist anymore, and the new reality is in full resonance with the higher vibrational frequency. So I know this to be true. I had a friend of mine ask me the other day, well, how do you know this? Like, how do you see and know when the energy shifts, or how do you know what the theme of the week is going to be, or the theme of the day? How do you know that such and such a thing is going to happen? Okay, so I'm going to tell you. So we talked about the quantum leap part. Now we're going to talk about the signs and synchronicities part. So signs and synchronicities are basically patterns, because everything in the universe, everything in our life, everything in reality operates in patterns. Okay. So one of the ways that I'll give you an example of how I know that the quantum shift is about to happen. And this is not like a standalone sign, but it is one of many signs. So 2 days ago, I think, I was making coffee like I do every morning, and I set the coffee bag by the coffee maker, but somehow the button was counting up the clock. So like, you know how like if you change your clock and you press down on it, it starts counting up. Well, that's what happened, right? So I put the coffee bag right by the coffee maker, and the corner of the bag was pushing the up button. So the clock was going up really fast. And I was like, ooh, okay, that's interesting, right? So I just thought of another great example. I'll tell you in a second. Sorry. Things come really fast when I start doing this kind of work. So we're talking about signs and synchronicities. I'm going to tell you another sign and synchronicity I just experienced. So earlier today, I made a video about Moldavite, and I highly encourage you guys all to go check it out. It's great. I mean, I think it's great, if I do say so myself. But one of the things I was saying in that video is I have Herkimer diamonds, or Herkimer crystals, which is an amplifier for Moldavite. And I was like, I have it somewhere, but I have no idea where it is. It's probably in a box somewhere because I've been moving and unpacking. Well, as I mentioned, it's really hot. So I went and I grabbed one of my fans and I plugged it into the side so that hopefully it wouldn't be too loud for all of you. And when I went to plug it in, I knocked over a bin full of crystals, and they're big crystals. So I didn't think my Herkimer crystals were in there because they're super, super teeny tiny little crystals. Well, I dumped it all over the floor. And guess what, guys? I found my Herkimer diamonds. And so when we ask the universe for things, it comes to us. And when we are asking for guidance, or we're trying to find something or find our way or find anything, it brings it to us, especially if we allow ourselves to be in flow. Now, at first, I was a little bit annoyed because I actually broke a couple of crystals, and I broke a couple of the Herkimer diamonds because I dumped crystals all over the floor, and that's gravity. But it's a good lesson for us that if we stay in flow, and we, like, I didn't get mad, because you can't, like I said in my video from before, you can't get mad when these things happen because you asked for it and you weren't specific about how you wanted to find it, right? You just said, I want to find my Herkimer diamonds, and then there you go. Now you found them. They're all over the floor. So asking for signs and synchronicities and or experiencing them is an excellent way of recognizing where you are at in the pattern. So everyone goes to different places. You know, I have some people who are way ahead of me on this journey, who've already experienced their quantum leap, right? Who may be watching this going like, oh, I already dealt with that, right? I'm already in my best life. That's great, right? There's no shade in that. Or there's people who are way behind on the path who are watching this video like, I'll never get there. That's okay too, because they will get there as long as they keep trying, right? And recognizing these signs. So give yourself the opportunity to be in flow, because I think that's the most fun, is when we let go of control and we ask the universe for guidance, and we give ourselves the opportunity to, like, I used to journal everything. So like if I saw signs and synchronicities and I saw multiples of them, I would be like, oh, so this means this, and this means this, and this is what this means for me, right? Another was, as I was walking with my dog today, I was thinking to myself, I don't know if I'm going to go live. Like, I've been, posting a lot of videos. Like, maybe it'll be fine. Everybody's probably not on YouTube. They're all hanging out with their families and stuff like that. Well, guys, guess what happened? Two things happened. One, I got a new subscriber, which is awesome. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being here. And the second thing that happened is a dragonfly flew over. Well, dragonflies for me mean action, right? So I was like, okay, I guess that solves it, right? I guess I'm going live today. And I'm happy to. I'm happy to be here with you guys. If you're watching this live, hi. If you're watching this on the replay, also hi. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit the bell, and leave me a comment so I know that this content is interesting to you. And also if you can hear me, because I'm guessing you guys can hear me, because nobody said they can't hear me yet, but that doesn't mean anything. I don't know. Okay. So you guys let me know in the comments if all of this makes sense to you. Let me know, guys, have you ever experienced a quantum leap? And if you have, what happened? Tell me about it. I've experienced quite a few really crazy quantum leaps in the past. And one thing I'll tell you to be true for myself is when you're going on a path, right? And everything is hard, right? The whole thing is difficult. It seems like every door is closing. People aren't interested. People look down their nose at you, like whatever. Sometimes that means that path is not for you, or the way that you're going about that path isn't for you. And I will give you an example. So when I was 18 years old, I enlisted in the Army. And my dad insisted, he really wanted me to be a helicopter mechanic like him. And so I have absolutely no mechanical skills and never have had any mechanical skills. But instead, I got a job, got the job title of a geospatial engineer, which is really awesome. Sounds really cool. It basically means that you make 3D maps. Well, come to find out, the day before I was supposed to leave, they were like, oh, shoot, we need to do this eye test. So we did the eye test, and come to find out, I can't see the 3D. Like, I can see in 3D, but I can't see 3D. Like, if we go see a 3D movie, I can't see that. Like, I don't know why. It just doesn't. So I wasn't able to get that job. So I had options, right? I could just say like, okay, just forget the whole thing. Or I could get a new job. And my brother was like, oh, you need to go join airborne, right? You need to go jump out of airplanes, because I never got to do that when I was in the Army. So when I went to go pick the jobs, this one job that I actually really did want had the airborne status. So I was like, okay, well, perfect, right? Like, this door is closed. So, and this door is open. Like, I'd way rather go down this path. So I did. I joined the Army, and I joined that MOS, and I went to airborne school. Totally messed up my body, but it was fine. It was worth it. So I ended up going to an all-male unit. And while I was there, those guys treated me really bad. Okay. So, and I ended up being diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder. And because things were so bad, I mean, I'd had hip surgery and I was sick and all this stuff, they gave me the option of getting out, right? And even though I hadn't fulfilled my contract, they were going to just honorably discharge me, give me disability, give me severance pay, and I was able to go home. And so I did, right? Like, I took that opportunity. I was like, okay, universe, obviously this is not for me. I'm out of here. But there was a lot of lessons that I did learn from that experience. I mean, not to mention the job skills, but I mean, I was able to get my master's degree. I've been able to buy a house. I've been able to learn so many lessons that I can share with all of you, including and not limited to hypnosis, which is a skill that I actually did learn. Not necessarily in the Army, but I learned a lot about like how to communicate from being in the military. So anyway, that's a very long story to explain to you that the universe guides us where we need to go. And we don't know the outcome of things until we find out the outcome when everything is said and done. So I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. I'm still going to pull some cards. I don't know. These cards are being a little shy today. I don't know. I haven't really asked a question either. Okay, so here's the question I want to ask these cards for all of you, the viewer, and those who are a part of this live stream or on the replay, is what do we need to know about the quantum leap or the quantum experience that we are working towards? So like, what do we need to know about our manifestation for the viewers of this channel? What do we need to know? And I'm going to fix this because I don't know. I don't really like how I put my thing down so that I could have my feet on the ground so I wasn't like swaying back and forth. But in order for me to like fit properly in the screen, I guess I'm just going to dangle. It's fine. Okay. So what do we need to know about the energy of today? What do we need to know about the energy of today? Okay. Okay. I'd like to pull a couple of cards. Can you get stuck in a quantum leap? That's a great question. No. No, you can't. Because in order for you to get stuck in a quantum leap, that would mean that you don't have the free will to like, you wouldn't have the free will to like do something else, right? Because you'd be stuck. Now, you can get yourself stuck. Okay, how do I want to phrase that? So maybe I should rephrase. Yes and no. You can get stuck, but you can also get yourself unstuck. So it's not like the universe sticks you in it, right, and forces you to do it. But if you decide that you don't want this thing anymore, you can get out. And my military example is a great example of that, because they asked me, do you want to stay or do you want to get out? And I was like, yeah, I want to get out, right? But I could have said, yeah, I want to stay. And if I had done that, I definitely would have been stuck, right? Another fun example is when I was going through my divorce, my ex said, you don't have a choice. You married me. So you don't have a choice, but you have to stay married to me. And I was like, yeah, that's not how it works. Okay. Like, I definitely have free will and I'm definitely not going to stay. So you are not stuck, but yes, you can feel stuck. There we go. That's how I want to phrase it. No, you're not stuck, but you can feel stuck. Okay. So I pulled some cards here. And the question is, what do we need to know about the quantum leap? So the first thing we have here is share your voice. I love this card because, like, as you can see from this card, this person is like sitting in a cave, looking out at everything, and just basically like dreaming, right? Dreaming about what it would be like to rejoin everyone else. And this is saying, well, like, you don't have to be stuck in the cave. It's like in connection to your question, like, you don't have to be stuck in this cave. You don't have to be persecuted. You don't have to be exiled. You can come out of this cave at any point and you can change your life at any point. And in fact, this card is saying, share your voice, come out of the cave, persecution expression. So give yourself the opportunity to move out of it, right? Choose differently. And that's kind of what I was saying at the beginning of this video is you have the pathway, right? So on the one pathway, you can be stuck and you can go backwards and you can stay in victimhood and you can do all of those things. But that's not what the quantum leap is, right? The quantum leap is the decision, the actual legitimate decision to say, I don't want to do that anymore. And it's through guidance, right? See, I hate the reflecting thing. It's through divine guidance. And that's what this card is. This card says your guidance is divinely guided, right? So I tell people whenever the quantum leap thing happens, this is what happens when you are ready to quantum leap, okay? The first thing is that you get fed up with life as it is. Some people look at it as like being negative, but it's not. It's just looking at things and saying like, this is not working, right? It's like, imagine if you love pudding. Okay. I love pudding. I just ate pudding. But imagine you love pudding, right? And you go to this grocery store every single day because you want to buy this special pudding and they don't have it, right? And you're like, dude, when are you going to get this pudding? And they're like, oh, it's back ordered, whatever. So every day you go in there. Well, like, are you going to go in there every single day for the rest of your life? No, you're going to be like, okay, like you guys clearly don't care about my pudding needs. I'm going to go to a different store, right? That's the same thing that happens when you're getting ready to quantum leap, although it's usually more serious than pudding, but I think you get the example. Okay, the next thing that you guys need to know about this quantum leap is that you are not alone. You can see it really good on this side. You are not alone. So not only do you have a whole community of people who are also experiencing this quantum leap with you, who are also fed up with the status quo, who hate their jobs, are miserable in their relationships, who are ready to do something different, right? But you also have a full spirit team behind you, past loved ones. You have pets that have passed away. I recently saw a pet psychic who was telling me about this whole menagerie. The point of that is to recognize, like, when you're getting ready to jump off the deep end and you're ready to quantum leap, you're not doing that alone. There's going to be people who are placed in your path to help you get there, okay? Then we also have break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing and rewriting the future, right? That's the quantum shift, right? Like that's the whole thing of what you're doing when you shift into the quantum. So basically what this card means and what it's telling us is that like that status quo, that fed upness, that like I cannot do this anymore. Like this sucks, right? Like whatever this is, it's not personal, right? I don't personally hate anybody, but just the interactions are boring. And being told no is lame. And like just that stuck feeling like, why are we still doing this, right? That's the breaking of the ancestral patterns, right? Just because it's always been done that way doesn't mean it has to keep being that way. Just like the pudding, you wouldn't keep going to that store anymore. You'd just go shop somewhere else. So anyway, I'm gonna not go on a tangent. I was about to, but I'm not going to. Okay. And then we have align your life, which is what this channel is all about, guys. This channel is all about alignment. What is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? So when we're talking about the quantum leap, right? How do you know that you are getting ready to do the quantum leap? How do you know you're ready for the next chapter? Is you start seeing, you start like, okay, like that was weird. That doesn't make sense to me, right? That behavior is odd, right? Yesterday's video, we talked about the snakes in the grass, right? And all of a sudden we see all these snakes everywhere. That's what this alignment card is talking about. You start seeing all these things that you're like, whoa, where did that come from? Whoa, how long has that person been treating me like that? All of those things begin to really show their face. And this is also like awareness, right? You become aware of all of these things that just are off. They're just slightly off. Okay. I hope that makes sense. You guys let me know. So let's say you're here and you're ready to quantum leap. Then what? What's next? Holy cow. The Age of Light, The Great Gathering, and Soul Family. Yeah, this side. The Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. So when you are a cycle breaker, a curse breaker, you're a karma breaker, you are from your family, you are the one to break these curses, right? And this card is basically saying, like, you're not here by accident, right? You're not like the one who gets fed up with the status quo arbitrarily. Like, you were always meant to do that. You were never meant to suffer. You were never meant to be in these cycles. You were always meant to break out of them. The other is The Great Gathering. I love these cards. It's all coming together, intuitive hits, and soul tribe. Right? So again, right, it's not just a community of people in the background. It is people who are literally being put in your path to help guide you towards the reality of your dreams. One of my favorite books, again, Angelina Trivia, is The Alchemist. And what I love about that story is that is exactly what happens, right? This guy surrenders to the universe, basically. He surrenders to the patterns. And all of these people come to help him. I don't want to give too much of the story away, but when he lets go of that control and he just goes with the flow, right? He just follows the signs and synchronicities. That's when the actual journey happens. That's when things start working out for him. When he's trying to be in control, everything goes, haywire. Okay, then we have the soul family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So again, I think the biggest message here of the quantum leap is that you're not alone. It might feel right now like that girl in the cave. It might feel like you're alone just because like you don't know of any other people who are on your path right now, because you're having this major restructuring where you're totally cutting people off, or ending relationships, or establishing really clear expectations and boundaries with people who may or may not be able to respect them. And so you're kind of on an island right now. Right? You're sort of in this healing mode, and while you heal, it's okay to sort of push people away, but you have to know when the healing is done and the movement is ready to happen. And that's where you're at right now. That's part of this quantum leap, is you're ready to start bringing people in, the right people, because now you know what misalignment looks like. You know what snakes in the grass look like. You know what betrayal looks like. You know what rage feels like, right? Like, those things. So as new people come in, you're going to be able to spot it like it's a 20-foot elephant in the room. And you're going to be able to say, no, I'm not going to do that, right? I'm not allowing that. Your soul family is the thing that you're really quantum leaping into. So it's not just like you're quantum leaping, but your whole tribe of people, your whole soul family is also quantum leaping with you, right? So remember what I said is like, all like everybody's at a different place in their journey. So like if you're watching this video in 5 years and you're like, holy crap, why didn't I see this 5 years ago? All these people were quantum leaping 5 years ago, and what took me so long? Your soul family has to quantum leap with you, right? Not everybody's ready yet. Maybe, right? For whenever you're watching this video is the right time for you. You are in your own divine path, on your own divine journey. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that aligns with you guys as you're watching through this. What do the viewers need to know, or what do the viewers need to give additional attention or grace to as they are quantum leaping? And I love the questions. So if you guys have more questions, feel free to ask them. What do we need to know? Keep in mind. Beauty and devotion, the priestess, the mystic, and the teacher, the sisterhood of the rose. There we go. What this card means to me is don't give up, right? Sometimes things look bleak. Sometimes things look lonely. Sometimes you're required to show additional strength that you didn't think you were going to have to show in the first place. That's okay, right? That's normal. So give yourself a moment. This is what I do for myself. I give myself some time to be mad or sad or cry or feel sorry for myself, or even to be in victim mode. Be in victim mode for a little while. Set a timer though, okay? Like don't stay there, because remember, everything is a vibrational resonance. So if you're manifesting for a new reality, but you're still in victimhood, you're not going to resonate with that new reality that you're looking for. So don't stay there, right? Okay, well, there you go, everyone. That's what I've got for you today. Follow the signs and synchronicities for your path. Remember that everything is a vibrational resonance. And so as you move from this reality into your next reality, check in to see what's not in alignment with you anymore, and give tons of gratitude to the things that are coming in that are a vibrational resonance. And if you have any questions as you're rewatching this, please feel free to leave those in the comments. Like, subscribe, share, send this to anyone that you think would find value in its content. And again, I'm Angelina, your spiritual alignment coach, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye, everybody. Bye.